Hello and welcome. Tonight, Vice President Kashim Shettima addresses world leaders at the G77 Plus China Summit holding in Havana, Cuba, draws attention to Nigeria's youth population and its potential to drive the nation's development. The All Progressives Congress inaugurates its National Campaign Council for the Imo State governorship election coming up in November, pledges full support for Governor Hope Uzodinma's re-election bid. Heavy downpour in Lagos State leaves roads and homes flooded. Governor Sanwo-Olu cautions against indiscriminate dumping of refuse on water channels. And Libyan authorities move to isolate the city of Derna from other flood-hit areas to prevent waterborne diseases from spreading to neighboring cities.
And on business news tonight, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, signs MOU on gas supply with Indorama.
On sports news tonight, star forward Cristiano Ronaldo and Senegal hitman Sadio Mane on target as Al Nassr beat Al Wahid 3-1 in the Saudi Pro League.
We begin outside the shores of the country in Havana, Cuba, where the potential of Nigeria's youth population has been highlighted. It's a gathering of world leaders at the G77 Plus China Summit, where the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, is giving assurances of the promise of Nigeria's youth, which he says the Tinubu administration is ready to galvanize in driving its agenda. He also emphasized the need to leverage on science and technology for economic prosperity of the global south. Our State House correspondent, Emperor Simon, has this report.
Vice President Kashim Shettima is among world leaders attending the G77 and China Summit in Havana, Cuba. Issues of climate change, the growth of science and technology, as well as economic recovery of member states in the aftermath of COVID-19 pandemic dominate the discussions here. It's an opportunity for Senator Shettima to share the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu's administration with his counterparts, while seeking to deepen Nigeria's bilateral relations with countries of the world.
Nigeria's demographic advantage is not limited to the absence of an aging population. Nigeria stands as a beacon of youthful talent and innovation. These young citizens are not only dedicated to integrating the human elements into the evolving technological sphere, but their efforts also expand to diverse fields, ranging from telemedicine to the automation of agriculture, all with the aim of making our daily lives more seamless. Allow me to reiterate Nigeria's commitment to partnering with our fellow member nations of the G77 and China. We shall champion initiatives that harness the potential of science, technology, and innovation to confront economic challenges, particularly within the global south.
Leaders at the summit, in their separate remarks, emphasized the need for cooperation among member states in achieving their shared vision.
If vaccines and protective gear were viewed as being necessary for the common good of mankind, then things could have been different. This is the stark reality confronting us because of the lack of equitable access to technology and innovation. We cannot, however, allow this reality to defeat us. We have to find our own means to develop our own technology.
We do have, historically and in the contemporary period, shared expressions. But those shared expressions must be strengthened. And where we have shared experiences, those shared experiences must be translated into structured, shared expressions in solidarity, in our interest and the interest of humanity.
The G77 plus China Summit has in attendance heads of states and governments from over 100 countries of the world, including officials of the United Nations. Empress Simon, Channels Television News.
Back here in Nigeria, ahead of the upcoming November the 11th governorship election in Imo State, the national leadership of the All Progressives Congress APC has inaugurated the National Campaign Council for the poll. The APC national chairman, Mr. Abdullahi Ganduje, says the party is prepared to support Governor Hope Uzodinma in making sure that he's re-elected into office. He made this pledge during the inauguration, which witnessed a gathering of party bigwigs at the Ndubisi Kanu Square in Owerri, the Imo State capital.
At the Ndubisi Kanu Square in Owerri, the Imo State capital, party members and supporters of the All Progressives Congress, men, women and youths gather for the inauguration of the National Campaign Council ahead of the state's governorship election. The event commences with the arrival of national leaders of the party and the state governor, Hope Uzodinma. The National Secretary of the party, Mr. Jibola Bashiru, opens the floor for different speeches.
This ceremony marks the official commencement of our journey towards winning the November 11th Imo State gubernatorial election for our great party, APC. I am thankful to God for bringing us safely from our various destinations to this beautiful city. I am sure some of us who arrived yesterday had a very nice rest, enjoyed the serenity of the city and the hospitality of Imo State, which Imo land is known for.
The APC governorship candidate and governor of Imo State assures the people of more accomplishments if re-elected.
We are indeed very grateful. We have built our party and we have positioned the party that even if the election is tomorrow, we are ready for the election.
The governor's position is corroborated by the Director General of the Imo State National Campaign Council, Governor Basio II of Cross River State.
What we are coming to tell Imo is to sustain the gains of the peace, to allow more roads to be built and completed in local government, to allow hospitals to be built and completed, to allow more infrastructure, which this state has never ever seen before. This can only be achieved if we bring Hope Uzodinma back to come and complete this project.
Next, the national chairman of the party members of the campaign council and gives assurances of the full support from the national leadership of the party and President Bola Tinubu.
Our members of the National Working Committee, we are all here and we are ready to assist you. We are ready to provide an enabling environment. We are ready to do all what we must do to ensure that you succeed in this election.
Now that the campaign council has been inaugurated, the APC says rigorous campaigns across the 27 local government areas of the state will take off in.
Here in Lagos, it was heavy downpour earlier today, resulting in the flooding of many areas in the metropolis, with some residents battling to drain their homes of floodwaters. Due to the heavy downpour, the Lagos state government has announced the postponement of the planned palliative work on the failed section of the 3rd Mainland Bridge, which was scheduled to take place tomorrow, Sunday, September the 17th to the 24th. To a date yet to be announced. Meanwhile, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is asking Lagos residents to stop indiscriminate dumping of refuse to reduce the effect of flooding in the state. Some parts of Lagos grappling with severe flooding after the heavy downpour in areas like Igondo, Akunjo, Agege, Jakonde Isolo, some parts of the mainland and even the affluent Banana Island. battling with the floodwaters. Houses flooded, possessions damaged and lives disrupted. Some of the residents come together to support one another. Reports say one motorcyclist was swept away by the floodwaters after he refused to heed to warnings from his colleagues not to ride along this bus stop canal area in Alimosho local government. Banana Island in the Ikoyi area of Lagos is not spared from the impact of today's heavy rain. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has appealed to the people to take utmost precaution as the heavy rainfall may likely continue. The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, is appealing to residents to stop indiscriminate dumping of refuse to reduce the effect of flooding.
1/3 of Lagos is water, and so that water will come and it will be heavy when it's during the rainy season. So that's nature, and that's we need to be able to learn to live with that and understand that we are in a coastal state, and that's who we are. Beyond that is to talk about our ways of life, which is to talk about drainages and the rest of it. When people block drainages, there is no magic that when it rains, it will be blocked and there will be flooding. That is a concern for all of us, for yourselves and for myself, is the level of zero tolerance that we're taking out of here.
He also reveals that efforts are underway to improve the city's drainage system and enhance flood resilience to prevent disasters.
As regarding that field portion, I'm aware of it. I think it happened a day or two ago. So that is a total, erosion that we did not anticipate. It was a total failure, or it was a total erosion, breakdown, and we're going to go back there and fix it.
The government has also announced the postponement of the planned palliative work on the failed sections of the 3rd Mainland Bridge, which was scheduled to take place on Sunday, September the 17th and the 24th. The fight against oil theft continues in the Niger Delta, where security operatives in partnership with pipeline infrastructure surveillance teams have discovered and dismantled an illegal refinery in the creeks between Rivers and Abia State. The operation, which took place at Zone 3 axis in the oil mining lease OML 11, is part of a massive campaign to completely eradicate illegal refineries and curb crude oil theft in the zone.
Setting out on the operation, security operatives, members of the pipeline infrastructure surveillance team, and journalists make their way by boat through the Owaza River to an illegal refining site. The area, which is on the boundary between Rivers and Abia states, is part of Zone 3 axis of the oil mining lease OML 11, operated by the NNPC Exploration and Production Limited. The land is visibly polluted by crude oil, which over time split on the ground, resulting in damage of farmlands. The team discovers some tanks used for illegal storage and destroys ore.
We carry out repairs of the illegal connections on the twin 12 inches delivery line spanning 27 kilometers from Imo 2 flow station to Ogali manifold. We ensure total removal of all tap points, including OMS 17, which spans 5 kilometers from the Inkali flow station to Imo 2 manifold.
He then warns perpetrators of such illegal acts to desist, as he assures that every illegal refinery discovered will be completely destroyed to prevent future use.
As you can see, this is a big drum, which is approximately 5,000 liters capacity. And we are here one of the purposes why we are here is to ensure total eradication, destruction of these illegal refineries, which we have spotted in this area.
Experts say Nigeria loses between 450 and 600,000 barrels of crude oil to thieves and economic saboteurs daily. However, the federal government is ramping up the battle against this in partnership with both the state governments and private security outfits.
In part two, after the break, police killed 10 bandits in Yankari Forest and rescued 39 victims from kidnappers following a joint security operation by personnel of Operation Sarandaji in Bauchi State. That's in a moment. Join us again. Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, coming to you live from Channels Television. A reminder of our top stories. Vice President Kashim Shettima addresses world leaders at the G77 Plus China Summit holding in Havana, Cuba, draws attention to Nigeria's youth population and its potential to drive the nation's developmental quest. All Progressives Congress inaugurates its National Campaign Council for the Imo State governorship election coming up in November, pledges full support for Governor Uzodinma's re-election. Heavy downpour in Lagos State leaves roads and homes flooded. Governor Sanwo-Olu cautions against indiscriminate dumping of refuse on water channels. And Libyan authorities move to isolate the city of Derna from other flood-hit areas to prevent waterborne diseases from spreading to neighboring cities. Security matters now in Bauchi State, where the police have killed 10 bandits in Yankari Forest and rescued 39 victims from kidnappers following a successful joint security operation. The police public relations officer, Bauchi State Command, Ahmed Wakili, made this known today, saying the operation was carried out by a team of Operation Sarandaji. He explained that preliminary investigation reveals that the kidnappers, about 24, invaded Gaji community, targeting some businessmen who were returning from the Liman Katangum market and took them to a place known as the Red Mountain in Yankari Forest. They demanded 50 million naira each as ransom before the rescue operation. Meanwhile, the Minister of Interior, Mr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, is advocating the integration of national identity information into a single data bank with a localized technology that will guarantee security. The minister is also urging the National Identity Management Commission to enhance its potential to be a major source of income for the country. He was a guest speaker at the 5th Identity Day commemoration organized by the National Identity Management Commission in the nation's capital, Abuja.
The Minister of Interior, along with the Director General of the National Identity Management Commission, walk into the venue of the 5th Identity Day celebration in Abuja. In 2019, the federal government approved the recognition and observance of September 16 as the National Identity Day. The day is set aside to create awareness on the importance of identification as a modern tool for national development. This year, the conversations center around the role of identity in key government programs for the social safety net, financial inclusion, and promotion of good governance.
We are determined to ensure that every eligible Nigerian have this unique identity, which is exemplified by the national identification number in the same way as the rest of the world. This will go a long way in ensuring that more people benefit from government's social safety net programs under the National Social Intervention Agency, which will also pave way for financial inclusion and access to services, especially in the hard-to-reach areas of the country.
However, the Minister of Interior is advocating the harmonization of all biometrics to guarantee national security.
Let me assure you that the ministry is in the process of establishing a data bank of all identities, of course, under NIPSI. This will help us to have what we call a single point of contact. I can only imagine our points of entry in Nigeria being so secured that we introduce not just biometric but facial recognition analytical systems that can easily detect criminals and people on wanted or criminal record database all over the world. How secure our country can be.
The minister, along with other participants, also underscored the economic importance of data.
All over the world, the new oil is data. That's the new oil. The future of Nigeria is data, and of course, as we migrate towards knowledge-based economy, NIMSI has a strategic role to play.
If you don't know who you are, the number of people in your country, you cannot plan. So for us to be able to make informed decisions that will lead to socio-economic development, the issue of digital identity is really important in this country. Looking at the 17 sustainable development goals, we cannot achieve these goals without proper identity in the country.
According to the National Identity Management Commission, 101 million enrollees have registered their identity with the Commission as of June 26 this year, a figure which reveals that the identity of an estimated 100 million Nigerians are yet to be captured.
To aviation now, full operations have commenced at Terminal 2 of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, following a directive by the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development for all airlines to move there. Channel Television was at the newly built terminal to look at how travelers are coping with the relocation to the new facility. Our correspondent Dominic Iwu has this report.
With regular flights to and from choice destinations, the international wing of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, is usually a beehive of activities. The new structure was born due to dilapidated facilities at the Terminal 1 of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, with travelers complaining of the bad odor from toilets, leaking roof, insufficient space, and non-working air conditioning units. On assumption of duties recently, the new Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Mr. Festus Keyamo, embarked on a visit to the international airport in Lagos, where he instructed that all check-in counters be moved to the new terminal, which according to him is ready for full operations.
Since I came into office, I've heard complaints upon complaints. The central air conditioner is not working. The carousels are not working. They broke down quite often. And the approach into the airport is smelly. It is totally unwelcoming, to people coming into Nigeria. And that is the gateway to Nigeria. So I have given a directive that we should completely shut it down and use the new terminal that can also take the traffic.
But a fire incident at the terminal prompted an immediate relocation of check-in counters to the new building, now known as Terminal 2. The building, constructed by China Civil Engineering and Construction Company, brings a new dimension to air travel for many Nigerians.
The space is quite enough. It's enormous. There is no congestion, if I could say that permits me. It's quite comfortable.
Before you look at the signage, they already told you what next. They told you where to go. If they maintain it that way, you don't even have to. If you're a blind person, you can pass through with convenience.
Some outbound passengers and older citizens speak on the structure while making comparisons with other airports in Africa and other parts of the world.
To compare with the past, there's a great difference. And I just pray that they should do more better. Like those lifts, on the stair lifts, where they just help elderly people like us. You just go up easy. That was good. And those places where we have to go with our passport, the A, B, C to F, that was another good one. So the environment itself, clean and nice.
Compared to the last time that I came, it's relatively better, considering the fact that the last time I was here, we had to pay for things like trolley. But now I was even surprised to see that it's now free. This new facility is really commendable. I wasn't expecting this, to be honest, because it's my first time of coming through this new facility. It is really, really nice and commendable. We have to give kudos to the government of Nigeria because it is nice, to be honest. It is nice.
The management of the airport give further detail on daily operations at the airport.
Things have been going on well. The Honorable Minister also graciously agreed that we could also use the D wing of the old terminal, which is Terminal 1, to also complement the new terminal so that we could ease the congestion of the new terminal, and things are going on seamlessly.
The new terminal boasts of 6 check-in consoles A to F with 10 check-in booths each, making a total of 60 check-in slots, and with operations fully in place at the new terminal, Nigerians are looking forward to more improved service at the facility, with hopes that movement in and out of the country will be without the usual hassles associated with the old terminal building, which is now to undergo an overhaul. Dominic Iwiwu, Channels Television News.
In Niger State, Governor Umaru Bago has performed a groundbreaking ceremony that will see the construction of the first underpass and flyover bridges in Minna, the state capital. In a brief ceremony in Minna, he said the government has secured funding for the over 200-kilometer project that will drive the urban renewal initiative.
This is the major road leading to Minna city center. This road has carried vehicles of all kinds for over 3 decades, and according to the governor, it doesn't represent his dream of a modern city.
Before we started this project, we have already secured funding, so funding is not a problem. And secondly, the company that is handling it is a very serious Chinese company. They have done it several places. Kaduna is an example of recent times, and they've delivered. So we're very sure that the timing they have given us, in the next 24 months, we should be commissioning some projects.
The governor used the opportunity to give the journalists an update of the efforts of government to resolve the security situation in the state. He believes fixing the road will help improve security.
We have already extended the olive branch to them for negotiation. Those that are good guys have already come into the fold. So we are ready for combat now. And that we have deployed our men. We have made some purchases of heavy hard wires, and we are going after them. We're not waiting for them to come out again.
Earlier at the event, the Commissioner of Works and Infrastructure, Suleiman Umar, said the project, which is in 2 phases, consists of 22 different roads, 5 interchanges and flyovers within the Minna city center.
Subsequently, the groundbreaking for Minna Township Road project we are about to witness today also consists of 5 interchanges flyovers at the following locations: City Gate Roundabout, Shiroro Road Roundabout, Payako Police Station Roundabout, Mobile Roundabout, Obasanjo Complex Roundabout, and Akugu Roundabout.
Sharafuddin Salihu is an artisan. He is aware that his makeshift shop will have to give way to an underpass, but he is willing to move because the project is for the greater good.
This is a welcome development, but affecting business and something. If there is a development in the state, the business will move, because we pray the government that want to do this, it will make a creation of a place for us that this thing will affect to make our own income.
These projects seem ambitious, but the 2 years set aside by the governor for the completion of the project speaks of the governor's commitment and readiness.
Staying with infrastructure, but this time in Abia State, where Governor Alex Otti has begun commissioning newly constructed roads in Abia, promising that his administration will continue to open up the area for private investors to move in and take advantage of the human and material resources in the city. He says his plan for the commercial center is very clear, adding that his administration is investing money where it will have a multiplier effect on the economic and social well-being of the residents. He was speaking during the inauguration of one of the projects, the Cemetery Market Road, Phase 1.
Abia State Governor Alex Otti, joined by his deputy Ikechukwu Emetu and some members of his cabinet, on Cemetery Road, one of the 3 newly constructed roads in Abia, the commercial nerve center of the state, for its commissioning. Governor T is received by excited traders, leaders of the transport unions, traditional rulers, and party supporters. He addresses the people and promises to do more.
We are investing heavily in road projects because it has been proven that roads are great economic enablers, and the direct message to economic actors that a path to harnessing the opportunities that lie within the territory have been created. This is exactly what we are doing with the 3 roads being commissioned today, namely Shalom, which we have just commissioned, Cemetery, where we are now, and the Belogu, where we are headed from here. In the name of the Father, Amen. The Son, Amen. And the Holy Spirit.
The contractors laud the project and promise durability.
Rock Resort Group was awarded this contract sometime early July, and it's in 2 phases. The first phase started from Abia Port Harcourt Road to end about 55 meters and 13 meters wide. And we have finished the first phase, which was the most critical part of this road because it was not passable for the past 25 years. And I can assure you that what we have given today will give you the next 50 years. If you come back here, you will still meet this road the way it is that we are marching it today.
The Commissioner for Works urges residents to reciprocate the gesture by keeping the roads free from refuse and drainage blockages.
Excellency, I thank you for this great opportunity which you gave to us to be part of this success story. And we promise you that we shall relentlessly work for the success of your administration.
Residents of the state have expressed optimism that challenges of dilapidated roads will soon be a thing of the past, as they believe the OT-led administration is already matching words with action to deliver on its promises.
The 2023 tree planting campaign, covering about 1,500 hectares of forest reserve, has been launched by the Adamawa state government. At the event, the governor, Omar Fintiri, says the tree planting campaign is meant to reinforce the ban by the state government on the felling of trees for charcoal production. It also shows that the government is committed to preserving the environment by addressing the challenges caused by climate change.
The venue of the flag of Ingire local government area, Governor Omar Fintiri is accompanied by his deputy, Professor Kaletapwa Ferauta, and other government officials. Setting the tone for the event is the state coordinator of the Agro-Climatic Resilient in Semi-Arid Landscapes, ACRISOL, which is supported by the World Bank in collaboration with the Adamawa state government.
Climate is changing rapidly. It is worthy of note, however, to mention that our environment is suffering from the adverse effects of this climate change, as noticed by increasing temperatures, increasing aridity, floods, droughts, erosions, reduced agricultural yields, erratic weather patterns, and of recent even sandstorms, as witnessed in Yola last year.
Indiscriminate cutting down of trees is a big challenge posed by climatic change, such as erratic weather pattern, loss of biodiversity, and adverse effect in agriculture and livelihood. By planting trees, we're investing in a greener and more resilient environment. We're also planting hope, prosperity, and a brighter future for ourselves and generations to come.
Shortly after the flag off, the Director General of Forestry Research Institute of Nigeria commends the Adamawa state government for this effort.
We will support him, Forestry Research Institute of Nigeria, to see that he achieves his own programs. We call on other states to emulate, and we are also calling on federal universities, state universities, private universities to continue the green campus initiative.
Governor of Interior has already directed the setting up of the AgroFest demonstration farms in every local government area using a community-driven approach by introducing a 1,200 hectares of irrigation scheme in selected areas.
The federal government has launched a Safe Schools initiative in Benue State as part of efforts to facilitate the resettlement of displaced persons from vulnerable communities. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. George Akume, and the Minister for Interior, who were represented at the event, say the renewed hope agenda of the President includes the security of schools and host communities from the sort of mass abductions witnessed in parts of the country previously.
Personnel drawn from the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, vigilante groups, and private security guard companies are gathering for their inauguration as members of the National Safe Schools Response Team. Their host, Governor Hyacinth Alia, arrives and exchanges pleasantries with the Commandant General of the NSCDC and the representative of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. To add some color to the event, there was also a cultural dance presentation. The Commandant General begins by laying the foundation to the Safe School initiative, which he says has so far prevented at least 30 school abduction attempts.
Our initiative gave birth to safe school financing. So far, this center has thwarted and prevented over 30 attempts of kidnapping of school children nationwide.
He also had a message from the Minister of Interior, who's seeking collaborations with states and local governments for the initiative.
I am therefore calling on all state governors and local government authorities to stand up in support of this project and to provide the necessary logistics that will assist the center in reaching out to all schools.
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation in his keynote address restates the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu's administration as it concerns the safety of schools.
The Safe Schools initiative is not just about securing physical spaces. It is also about securing the future of Nigeria. It is about ensuring every child has the opportunity to receive an education without fear. It is our hope that never again will we record mass adoption of students from schools by criminal elements.
Governor Hyacinth Alia shows his commitment to the initiative with the donation of a coordination center in Benue.
For your efforts towards promoting safety in our society and having safe schools in the country for all students and educators, especially in conflict-prone areas, fragile communities, and most at-risk schools, the Benue State government has approved and donated a facility for the establishment of Benue State Safety Schools Response Coordination Center near the Aperico Stadium behind Benue State Education Resource Center.
The launching of the Safe Schools initiative in Benue is targeted at facilitating the return of peace and restoration of displaced pupils and their families back to their homes.
Governor Ademola Adeleke has expressed the readiness of Osun State to showcase its economic potential in collaboration with other government bodies and private individuals. He stated this while addressing participants at the 22nd edition of the Joint Planning Board and National Council on Development Planning meeting in Osogbo, the state capital. The event was attended by officials of the federal and state ministries of budget and economic planning, as well as the acting Controller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, Bashir Adini.
As the whole state, Osun is proud to showcase its development initiative and investment opportunities to the nation. This event provides an excellent platform for us to strengthen our partnership with the Federal Ministry of Finance and Budget.
As the luckiest man that ever lived.
In his address, the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Abubakar Bagudu, says the federal government is willing to collaborate with states to mobilize resources for economic recovery and development.
Of the 22nd
National Council on Development Planning meeting is imperative for restoring Nigeria on the path of sustainable growth and development. This theme was carefully crafted to restore and stabilize the macroeconomy for sustainable economic growth and development.
Company news now. After 44 years in the market, Calypso, that's one of Nigeria's indigenous liquor brands, has surprised consumers with an amazing, rich coconut flavor, an inviting aroma, and pleasant taste for those who are looking for simple ways to get more fun out of life. The new Calypso is a refined rum with a concoction born of high-quality tropical coconuts blended with the finest Jamaican rum. The Director, Prime Business Unit, Grand Oak Limited, Mr. Stanley Obi, says the brand has gotten to a turning point where it needs to reinvent itself to give consumers an amazing beach feel.
It's a glamorous night of celebration and spectacular entertainment. Celebrities, influencers, artists, and the upper echelons of the business, tech and corporate realms are treated with a new level of richness of Calypso coconut liquor, which can be used for various great party cocktails. Organizers say the Calypso coconut liquor has been specially crafted to provide a taste experience that hits differently.
Calypso is that liquor that gives you that amazing beach feel. So if you're one of those people who love the sea, you love the beach, Calypso is that brand that really resonates with that free spirit of adventure. And it gives you the right kick to get the fun going.
You can take it at different occasions. You can take it as a cocktail. You can take it straight. So basically, it just fits into every occasion for you. You can take it in your home alone. You can take it in a party. So that's like what we're trying to give our audience, where they can have an all-round drink in just one. Yet you have that sweet coconut taste in your liquor.
Yep. While unveiling the new variant, the brand also makes a commitment to continue reinventing itself.
Calypso has been a brand that most of us grew up knowing. It's been a brand that has been there, that has stood the test of time. However, as with every brand, Calypso has gotten to that turning point where it needs to reinvent itself.
With how all the other brands are doing in the market, it was a good time that we could switch up the fun. And so we thought, okay, it's time for Calypso to come back to life, to come back to excite the audience, to come back to create that old-time memories that people used to, be aware of. Rebranding the Calypso brand and being able to connect again with the target audience and being able to give them that special feel, that premiumness that Calypso has always offered from back then.
Calypso says it is Nigeria's #1 locally produced premium flavored liquor, driven by a singular mission to inspire greatness, celebrate life, and create happiness every single day.
The Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, says a loaded gas tanker was gutted by fire at Doing bus stop in Ward Orile Koka Oguda Local Council Development Area. LASEMA explains that the cause of the fire is yet to be determined, but fortunately there was no loss of life or casualties involved in the incident. The Permanent Secretary, LASEMA, Femi Okeosointolu, says the emergency response team and the agency's fire service are at the scene working to stop it from spreading. He also revealed that collaborative efforts to put out the blaze are still ongoing by the agency's response team and fire service alongside the Lagos State Fire Service, Federal Fire Service and the police. Now let's find happening in the world of business. Laddie Williams has all those details.
Thanks, Melinda. In business news, with the nomination of Dr. Olayemi Cardoso as the new governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, alongside 4 new deputy governors, reactions have trailed Mr. President's picks. One is from the former deputy governor of the Central Bank, Mr. Tunde Lemo. believes the reputation of the Central Bank of Nigeria has been mismanaged, and Dr. Cardoso must reverse this once approved as governor.
I'd like to congratulate Dr. Yemi Cardoso. His reputation precedes him. He's coming in at a very, very crucial time. We are having a clean sweep that is only comparable to the time Obasanjo came in 1999. And that one was not even a complete sweep like this because one deputy governor was retained. But this time around, it's a complete sweep. But that provides opportunity for him also to reinvent central bank. Central bank has been in the news in the last 10 months for wrong reasons. And because of that, the public confidence, I would say, has waned. So what should be prioritized is even to look within and ensure that those with whom he is working are people who are fit and proper. He should look into the cadre and ensure that officers that are in key positions are fit and proper to occupy that position. And then too, he should also ensure that central bank's communication is consistent and that the reputation of central bank is brought back. Reputation is very, very important. Central banks all over the world thrive on reputation.
And the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited has signed a memorandum of understanding with Africa Ingorama Energy Petroleum Limited to explore Nigeria's rich gas resources in a partnership that will see the company invest over $7 billion in Nigeria. Speaking at the ceremony in Abuja, the Group Chief Executive Officer of NNPC Limited, Mr. Melek Hiari, affirmed that the deal was the first of several gas exploration agreements that will bring more foreign exchange to the country and increase the amount of gas available for local consumption.
This country is on the threshold of making value out of gas beyond any imagination. NNPC is currently pursuing very many other large-scale gas projects which we could not take forward, but we're now more than ever before determined to ensure that this also progresses. And Roma, if you need more gas, talk to us. We'll find gas, we'll do business with you, so that ultimately, even on this project alone, we're seeing annual GDP contribution of over $3 billion and perhaps lifetime government revenues of up to $18 billion, even for this project. So this is a huge project. And we in NNPC, we are committed to this. Me and my team will do everything possible to deliver it. There are no obstacles. There are no fences. We will work together to deliver on this, and at the end, our country will prosper. Not just that, our companies will make money. And beyond this, it will also be the aspiration of government. And they are all connected. And we're happy to take this forward and assure you that there will be no obstacle. If there will be any obstacle, it will come from you.
And from there, we head to the domestic equities market, which closed down this week as profit-taking by investors weighed. As a result, the all-share index dipped by 1.10% to sit below the 68,000 new historic point. At the same time, activity levels were stronger, as trading volume and value are in the green week on week, while sectoral performance was mostly negative. Orlando topped 32 other gainers, up by 42.86%. While Associated Boss Company PLC led 52 other losers, down by 33.63%, while the trio Access Holdings, Transcorp, and UBA were the top three most traded equities for the week. And that's it on business news. Back to Belinda with the rest of the news at 10.
Many thanks, Ladi. Now let's cross over to our Abuja studios, where Victor Matthias is standing by with the latest from the world of sports.
Many thanks, Melinda. Nigeria's representatives in the CAF Confederations Cup Bendel Insurance settled for a 2-2 draw with RS Berkane of Morocco in the first leg of the second preliminary round. The keenly contested encounter, which produced 4 goals, was played at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium in Benin City, the Edo State capital. The result is a good one for the North Africans, who will be hosting Insurance in the second leg next week, Wednesday. Premier League, Liverpool came from a goal down to beat Wolverhampton Wanderers 3-1 at the Molineux Stadium, courtesy of goals from Cody Gakpo, Andy Robertson, and an own goal from Hugo Beno. Elsewhere, Fulham beat boys Luton Town 1-0, while Manchester United suffered a painful 3-1 defeat at Old Trafford at the hands of Brighton. Despite looking like a draw will be the outcome, Aston Villa beat Crystal Palace 3-1 after a Douglas Luiz penalty, and a goal from Leon Bailey scored in dying moments of the game. In other games, with a dramatic twist, Tottenham came from behind to beat Sheffield United 2-1 with Richarlison and Dejan Kulusevski scoring in injury time. Defending champions Manchester City also had to come back from behind to beat West Ham United 3-1 with Jeremy Doku, Bernardo Silva and Norwegian hitman Erling Haaland all getting on the score sheet. Newcastle United beat Brentford 1-0 in the last game of the day. Sadio Mane and Cristiano Ronaldo were both on the score sheet as Al Nassr secured a 3-1 victory away to Al Reed. Ronaldo has now scored 7 league goals this season, meaning he is the current top scorer in the Saudi Pro League. Following the victory, Al Nassr are in 6th place, 4 points adrift of leaders Al Hilal. Al Nassr returned to action against Perpetuous on Tuesday in the AFC Champions League. As Spanish football fans continue to support women national team's demands to change the federation, the fans gathered near Madrid to watch the current champions Barcelona women in their opening match against Madrid Club de Football Femenino after the unions and Liga F reached an agreement over minimum wages to end the strike. Mainly wearing the shirts of stars Alexia Putellas and Aitana Bonmati, hundreds queued to enter the stadium in Fuenlabrada in southern Madrid, supporting their players, both with the past strike and their demands as a national squad. A group of 39 players from Spain, including most of the 23 Women's World Cup winning squad, said on Friday they wanted further changes at the Spanish Football Federation and that the resignation of Chief Luis Rubiales and the replacement of the team's manager was not enough. That's a wrap on sports news. It's back to Melinda. Thank you for watching. I'm Victor Mackay.
Many thanks, Victor. On the international scene, Libyan authorities are planning to isolate flood-hit Derna from other affected areas for fear of waterborne diseases spreading to neighboring cities. This comes after the head of the Wada Hospital, Mohammed Al-Kwabisi, expressed this concern, although he clarified that no cholera case has been reported just yet. The whole neighborhoods were submerged and destroyed when dams above the city broke, taking many sleeping families by surprise. And the main news again. Vice President Kashim Shettima today addressed world leaders at the G77 Plus China Summit holding in Havana, Cuba, and drew attention to Nigeria's youth population and their creative potential needed to drive the nation's developmental quest. The All Progressives Congress has inaugurated its National Campaign Council for the Imo State governorship election coming up in November and pledged full support for Governor Hope Uzodinma's re-election bid. Heavy downpour in Lagos State today left homes and roads in parts of the state flooded. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu cautioned against indiscriminate dumping of refuse on water channels to avoid worsening the situation. That's the news at 10 tonight. I'm Melinda Akinlami. On behalf of the team, good night.